Well, certain Syrian opposition leaders have demanded the UN take action against the regime under its Chapter 7, as well as hold it accountable for war crimes. Opposition leaders have held a press conference in Istanbul on Wednesday. They say the UN has done nothing to stop the regime from the continued bloodshed of the Syrian people. Well, Anelise Borges is following that meeting in Istanbul. She joins us now live. Hi, Anelise. First, tell us exactly which members of the opposition are speaking today and what else they've had to say.
Well, the Syrian National Council, Syria's main opposition group, held this emergency press conference here to voice their anger about what happened in Idlib on Tuesday. They called it a massacre perpetrated by the Syrian regime against its people. And during that press conference, they showed photos of damaged buildings and also children, and once again stated that the regime is targeting civilian areas, and also said that there is evidence that the regime used chemical weapons at least 3 times in Syria, and that it will use it again for as long as Bashar al-Assad remains in power. As you mentioned, the Syrian opposition here is asking more from the international community, more action, and is calling on the United Nations Security Council, but also on the International Criminal Court to come up with some resolution that holds the regime accountable. He's also, during the press conference here, the vice president of the Syrian National Council also said that he hopes this episode will change the international stance once and for all.
But, Anelise, have they had any response to the Russian and the regime line that a weapons depot held by opposition forces was actually bombed that also contained illegal chemical weapons? Have they said anything in response to that?
Well, not during the press conference, but after the press conference, we did speak to a member of the Syrian National Council who said that this is just Russia and the regime trying to cover up for what they have done, that there is no evidence of that, and that children will not be hanging out close to a chemical depot, to a chemical weapons depot. And that theory makes absolutely no sense. But once again, they're calling on the international community to do more, to stand by their side. And members of the opposition here insist that they are fighting basically 2 battles, Andrea. One against the regime in Syria on the ground, and another one political. And they say that they will continue to attend talks in Geneva, in Astana, to show the international community that they, at least, are committed to finding a diplomatic solution for this crisis.
Okay. Anelise Borges joining us there from Istanbul. Thanks so much for that.